In a world obsessed with constant upgrades and innovations, some things are so well designed that there's no need for change. For over 300 years, one style of knife has survived as is, not as a museum piece, but in the hands of farmers and craftsmen. What makes the Arthur Wright Sons Barlow a living legend? Well, stick around and we'll look at its rugged construction and explore its history with me. We will answer the question, is this the most perfect pocket knife ever made? So starting with the history, the Barlow takes its name from the inventor of this pattern, believed to be Obadiah Barlow, or maybe his son. And it was first made in Sheffield in 1670. Now, bear in mind, this was before the Industrial Revolution. At this time, the Sheffield cutlery industry was growing strongly with a rise in pocket knives, or they were also called spring knives due to the back spring. And the Sheffield cutlers developed methods for making these knives in a reasonable volume. There were different sizes and shapes, some fruit knives, some for cutting quills, used by coachmen and soldiers and writers alike. It was designed to be an affordable tool for the working man, with handles made of wood or bone. By the 18th century, it had moved across the Atlantic with the British immigrants, and it became widely copied as a pattern, and it became the archetype of a reliable folding knife. So here's an example. This is the Barlow by Colonial. In this version, it's a two-bladed knife, but it has the traditional long bolster and the teardrop shape, which is synonymous with the Barlow. And what I like about this is you can see it's developed a great patina over the time. So this came from the collection of my dear friend Randy, who's passed away last year, but it's one of my favourite knives in my collection. It's not an expensive knife, it's got plastic handles, but it's a great example of an American Barlow. So coming back to Arthur Wright & Sons, so our story jumps forward to 1947, and Arthur Wright & Sons, and let's see if we can see the stamp. So Arthur Wright & Sons, it was founded by Arthur Wright and his son, also called Arthur, and their mission was to preserve Sheffield's cutlery heritage. Now, Arthur Wright & Sons is owned by Michael Harrison, and his son Ashley works there as a craftsman, plus their apprentice Beth. And they continue as custodians of this craft, with all knives traditionally handmade, with all of the operations done in-house and made in the traditional way. So let's go through the anatomy of a typical Barlow. So typically they're about 90 to 95 millimeters closed. This particular one weighs in at 75 grams or 2.6 ounces. You can see that the handle, in this case, it's made of rosewood, but you can get them in lots of different versions. I have this version in lignum vitae, which is a very dense hardwood, so dense that it sinks in water. And this is the recent Paddy's potato peelers knife. It's a really good example of a Barlow. You can get them in newer materials as well. This one's in micarta, a nice black micarta, and this was commissioned by Twisted Assisted. So all three are clip point Barlows. So the handle material can be lots of different things. If you look on Moonraker Knives, they've been doing some really good specials with some fantastic woods as well. So looking at the blade, so the classic shape is the clip point. which we can see here. And the clip point is a great shape for cutting. So it's used a lot by leather workers, and one of the great things about this is you can use it for pull cuts and also for push cuts. So it works well for both sorts of cuts. It also has a sharp tip for any fine work, and it's relatively easy to sharpen. Now this is made of C70 carbon steel, which is a high carbon steel, typical for tool steel, and it's quite wear resistant. It's very easy to sharpen and to get to a very sharp edge. You can see with this particular blade, it's got a small sharpening choil, and you can see the kick there, which stops the blade hitting the back spring. A nice large nail nick, and you should be able to see the Arthur Wright of Sheffield tang stamp. So that's the classic blade shape. Now, as well as the clip point, you can also get a Sheepsfoot. Now this isn't a Barlow, but it's just an example of the Sheepsfoot blade from Arthur Wright. The Sheepsfoot is one of my favourite blades, and this is great for draw cuts. And then the other blade that's common for Barlows is a spear point as well. So again, this is an easy open knife. It's not a Barlow, but you can just see the blade shape there. And as well as wood, you can also get this in stag as well. So you can check out the Arthur Wright site or the famous Sheffield shop or Moonraker's knives. You might even find these on Amazon actually. Heine Haynes do some as well. So the most important thing about this is how does it feel in your hand? And with traditional knives, you really need to feel it in your hand to appreciate it. The ergonomics are fantastic. It sort of swells in your hand with this teardrop shot, it swells in your hand with this teardrop shape and the slightly bulbous end, and it just feels really comfortable. You can get a good forefinger grip and it feels confident and safe. There's no need for aggressive texturing that you get on modern knives. It has a nice honest feel. You can feel the handle material, a good connection. So it feels great in the hand. Then Arthur Wright are renowned for having a strong back spring and a strong pull. So anywhere from a 6 to a 7 to a 10, or I'd joke even an 11. Some that, you know, are real nail breakers to open. But the great thing is they're not going to open in your pocket, and you get a nice powerful snap when they open. And that gives you some confidence as well, that it's not going to close when using it. Although it's a slip joint, it takes a bit of pressure to close it. And then when you close, you should get a good snap as well. And while we're there, let's have a look at the makeup of this. So nickel bolsters, brass liners and pins. You can see this one is a little bit off center, but there's no blade rub at all. So that strong pull, sharp snap, solid feel. This is the language of a well-made tool. And this is designed to be the working man's companion, you know. These are still reasonably priced, especially for a handmade pocket knife. Basic models are around about 40 to 60 pounds. You can get them in fancier materials such as stag. You can get them with file work or milling as well, so extra work, which will be more expensive. So it's a simple tool, a simple cutting tool, and it's perfect for any of the cutting tasks that you have. And it will last decades with a little bit of oiling. You have to watch the C70 because it can be prone to rusting, but it will develop a great patina over time. And for me, being handmade, each one is different. If you look at these, even though they're slightly different materials, but each one has a slightly different shape, as these are handmade, hand half did, but all of them have a fantastic fit and finish. And because everyone is slightly different and they're handmade, I would say that these are imperfectly perfect. What do you think makes a knife perfect? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is it the history? Is it the materials? Is it the walk and talk? If you enjoyed this look at a classic knife, why not subscribe? So thanks for watching, and why not check out this video on the Buck 110, an American classic knife, or this playlist on traditional knives. And I'll catch you in the next video.